Swamp Stories, man. Damn, I almost knocked the phone down. Swamp Stories review, man. We back. Let's get into it.
Start with a live look in Oakland, where a violent 4th of July left police scrambling. There were so many shootings, officers were racing to get from one to the next.
For a total of 7 shootings, which started Sunday night and carried into late this morning.
We have a few details on that party bus shooting that killed 2 teenagers in Oakland and wounded at least 5 others. Several shooters fired more than 70 rounds at this bus as it traveled down 580.
2020 was the deadliest year Oakland had seen in decades, and 2021 has been even worse. The violence is attributed to Oakland's vicious gang war. In this video, I'll be focusing on Oakland's 2 biggest gangs, the Case Gang and the Stubby Gang. The Stubby Gang is also known as...
Hey, man, shout out. Big shout out to Swamp Stories, man. I enjoy his content, man. For real, I appreciate his content. So, we on the Swamp Stories review. When I get my laptop in a couple days, we about to be doing reactions. So, Swamp, holla at me, bro.
ENT. ENT is a moniker that represents 3 men who were killed. The E and N stand for 17-year-olds Edward Hampton and Nario Jackson. They were both murdered in West Oakland in 2010. The T stands for Taliban, in commemoration for a friend who was killed by Oakland police. The gang was created around 2011, but all 12 of the original Stubby ENT members are dead or in jail now. So this is a whole new generation of the gang. Unlike San Francisco, Oakland gangs don't represent a certain block or project. Gang members can be found from different areas throughout the town. That being said, Stubby members are usually found in Ghost Town or the 70s. They can also be found in the Murdered Doves. Oakland police said that the primary being of ENT is to commit burglaries, home invasions, and shootings. Typically, an ENT member was known for doing burglaries of Asian and East Indian homes. Today, ENT is known as the Threes, and they affiliate with the 2-letter gang, also known as the Twos. They're basically one big gang together. The Twos reside mostly around 88th Avenue, which they call the 8, and also Lockwood, and some apartments in San Leandro as well. Oakland really comes down to the 2s and 3s beefing with the 4s, and everyone has to affiliate. The 2s being the 2-letter gang, 3s being Stubby ENT, and the 4s, well, that's the Case Gang. Now, I introduce you to the Case Gang. This gang, originally called Nutcase, has been terrorizing the streets of Oakland since the 1990s. Some say that the other Oakland gangs were only created as a resistance to the Case Gang. In the early 2000s, Oakland police said that this was the most terrifying gang they had ever seen. And that includes Oakland's violent crack era, but somehow, the Case Gang managed to cause more terror. The original leader, Leon Wiley's final statement after being sentenced to life in prison was,
"This is Nutcases. I ain't scared of nothing, and I don't give a fuck."
This man truly did not give a fuck. He went on a 10-week crime spree in 2002 where he killed 3 people. This included a 14-year-old. During this crime spree, another case member, Deontay Donald, killed 4 people, along with another case member, DeMarcus Rawls, who killed 4 people as well. This was all in a 10-week span. Not only were they killing people, but during this time period, the Case Gang was also convicted of 9 robberies and 100 muggings. Oakland police actually blamed Grand Theft Auto 3 for this violent crime spree. They say that Case members would commit these crimes on the video game before they go out and do it in real life. That's the old generation of the Case Gang, but the new generation is violent too. They are mostly found in the 90s in the area they call Bossland, but they can also be found in other parts of East Oakland.
People living in the hillside apartments would sure like to know. They're not in the best position to ask. So Kristen Ayers did.
They're known as the Cases, some of them seen in this video. A gang with a virtual stranglehold on East Oakland's hillside apartments.
Probably the most violent young group of people that I've seen in my 25 years.
Not only do these gangs beef in the streets, but the 2s, 3s, and 4s make it known in their music.
I'm trying to make a nigga diddy vibe. Drakey, hold up, honey, get up on him, yes, it really rocks.
Then you know we gon' go some. One Kyle with the switch, he gon' blow some. They got 29 dead, how they ever slow?
I'm in the game. game like EA, bitch, I'm 2K. Free new million, he for affiliated, get it straight. Behind Castle Mine, that's the only 88.
Our team full of faggots, boy, y'all are no killers. Surfing with this Glock, I'm a stubby, go get her.
I got my whack with this AR like fuck a baby K. My niggas pulling nutties on niggas banging that baby case. I put 200 on my face, bitch, I'm never flagging. I popped the sucker, ain't said nothing, ain't no need for bragging. Two letters do it best, I can bang it, you better check this desk. James broke my pinky, boy, it's hard to throw my gang up. Somebody tell them case, nigga, step that game up. You ain't even got no case victim, boy, that's rubbish. I came home and immediately start blowing posts. Ain't got no sympathy, let God forgive you cases, don't. You never slid on this 6, nigga, that's rubbish. You never slid in them jets, nigga, that's rubbish. Drop a 4 in a 1 liter, cause I hate deuces. They took ill, but it's okay, they better take me next, don't let me creep up close. On my brother, I'm making a mess.
Get these niggas are claim that dead fag. How the fuck y'all claim ill? He wear lipstick. Max got a least died. Yo, 6.
Let it gang to my niggas, so what's happening? I'm tripping over ill till I'm gone, boy. I'm all over your head, you move wrong, boy.
That bitch gal better stay about our politics. Cause BBT them got no pics, they'll drop a bitch. Can't take it back, you publicize who you rockin' with. On top of shit, bitch, we really step on spiders, and I'm tired of seeing tools. All you niggas net typers, bitch.
That's Spidey, put the beam on him, we got it. Hey, I just caught another body, hey.
How you step on spiders, bitch? I am not dead.
Ain't no nigga throwing threes to say they broke me off. Just know a nigga finna die if you get pissed off. Talking buddy sipping green, nigga, that's fitting off. And don't talk about 3-9, them niggas full. Ain't had no dogies on that team.
He was trying to get some snibbles and got knocked down. Sand folk tools for some clout bet, he hot now.
How he made it to the spittle, but he didn't make it. What he thought he went to law school, how he dropped cases. It's 200, you don't play that. Play pussy around my thugs, get your snakes. Fuck that, throw that shit and get your brain shots.
I can't go over everything that's happened between these gangs, or else this would be an hour-long video. So I'll start in 2020. Also, try to remember the names of victims and suspects because this will get interesting. We start on June 25th, 2020. A 19-year-old ENT member named Charles Bolden Jr. is shot in Oakland on 77th Avenue. 2 days later, a case member is shot on MacArthur Boulevard. Later that same day, shots were fired into the home of case member Donze Young in Antioch. This shooting would be a surprise to neighbors in this peaceful area, and some would install surveillance cameras. In the past few years, many Antioch residents complain that their neighborhoods are experiencing violent crime that they've never seen before. They claim the Antioch Section 8 program that has brought Oakland residents to their city has caused many problems. And they wouldn't be wrong, because just 13 days later, case member Donze Young was shot again right in front of his Antioch home. He would survive this shooting. On August 14th, 2020, 18-year-old case member Devon McNeil was shot dead on Beverly Avenue in Deep East Oakland. August 29th, 2020. Donze Young was shot again in front of his suburban Antioch home. He was chased on foot and shot multiple times with an AR pistol. After he was knocked down, the suspect would stand over him and shoot him in the head a bunch of times just to send a message. Antioch police called it an execution-style killing. Just a few days later, retaliation would come. On September 4th, 2 ENT members are shot at 56 times with an AR-15, yet both would survive and one of them wasn't even hit. Case was over there shooting bricks like Ben Simmons. Then, 2 days later at Donze Young's memorial, in front of the same Antioch home, 13 shots would ring out. Luckily, everyone ran and nobody died. December 8th, 2020, Donze Young's house would be shot up again. Clearly, the rivals wanted more blood from Donze's family. February 27th, 2021, 10 in the morning. A 21-year-old case member is pumping gas at an Antioch gas station when rival gang members would start shooting at him. The other case members would start shooting back when they noticed what was happening. This gas station would be turned into a war zone. Once the smoke ended though, one case member was shot 10 times. His associates would rush him to the hospital where he would survive his injuries. Later that day, those case members would get their own revenge. They would drive to a known ENT location in East Oakland and start shooting at some gang members. No one would die from the shootings and Oakland police were all over it. They would detain the suspects after long foot chases, and the guns that they used during this shooting matched the shell casings from the Antioch gas station. 10 days later, on March 9th, ENT members would sit outside an Antioch home all day. When the case members they were looking for got home, the ENT members would hop out of their car and start letting off. After the shooting, 2 case members would be airlifted to the hospital where they would receive life-saving surgery. No arrests were made for any of these shootings until March 30th of 2021. Operation Windstar. This is when everything came falling down for Case and ENT. Antioch neighbors are very different than the ones in Oakland, and these gang members would learn the hard way. Antioch neighbors would submit surveillance video and descriptions of the shooters and drivers. This is what ultimately took down the gangs. Once they had enough information from civilians, Antioch and Oakland police decided to work together to take down these gangs. They received 100 search warrants from judges to raid all of the homes of suspected gang members. They found everything they needed and more. They recovered 40 guns, most of which were linked to the shooting, and hundreds of thousands in cash. 48 gang members were arrested, and what they found was mind-blowing. After the August 29th killing of Donze Young, a home surveillance video was submitted to Antioch police that caught the driver getting away. Another neighbor came forward and gave a description of the shooter. It turns out the driver was Charles Bolden, and the shooter, well, his 19-year-old son, Charles Bolden Jr. During the raid of the Boldens, they found guns that matched the shell casings to the shooting of Donze Young on July 13th. This father-son duo was relentless. ENT members Eric Wyndham and Keyshawn McGee were arrested for the March 9th Antioch shooting on Aspen Way. Even after the gang sweep, ENT and Case areas have been riddled with homicides. For example, on July 5th, a 48-year-old man was killed on 77th and Bancroft, right in the heart of ENT territory. Just 2 days later, at the Man's Memorial, a 49-year-old man was killed in the exact same spot.
New this morning, Oakland police still investigating a shooting at a celebration of life that left one man dead and another in the hospital. Now, police responded to a shot spotter activation last night on Bancroft near 77th Avenue.
Oakland's gang war has no end in sight. Oh, and these aren't the only 2 gangs beefing. This is just a portion of it. Oakland could use a prayer or 2 at this time because too many families are grieving. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and let me know in the comments what you want to see next.
Crazy, bro. Crazy, man. Yeah, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. We about to react to another one. About to do 2 or 3 of them before I go to sleep, man. I ain't even smoke a blunt. I was so into that joint. Pause. But yeah, I'm about to shoot another one right now. Let's get into it.